Many folks are aware of the financial personality Dave Ramsey and his words, quote, "Debt consolidation is nothing more than a con because you think you've done something about the debt problem. The debt is still there, as are the habits that caused it. You just moved it." End quote. For years I have said something he also states, and that is, you can't borrow your way out of debt. I have also said for years what Mr. Ramsey proclaims, you can't get out of a hole by digging out the bottom. Similarly, financial author Larry Burkette said, "Debt is not the problem, it's the symptom." I feel debt is the symptom of overspending and undersaving. End quote. Counselors trained under Larry Burkette usually will not recommend debt consolidation for a client. Why? In Mr. Burkette's words, because debt consolidation doesn't work. Those are just two well-known and well-thought-of debt counselors with their thoughts on debt consolidation. The statistics seem to back them up. A company I'm aware of claims 78% of its debt consolidators are right back in the same situation with the same amount of debt. It may take 6 months or 6 years, but what's the difference? 78% are coming back with the same scenario, and it just doesn't accomplish a thing. But why does this happen? The reason is simple. The person has not changed their spending habit. They have not learned to pay in cash, to save for an emergency, to spend less than they earn. That is why many of my videos include how to change habits. Debt consolidation looks awesome on the surface with lower payment and lower interest perhaps, but what is not reality seen is the extended term of contract, so that the monthly payment is lower, but the overall payment is much higher because of the longer term. So you aren't usually saving a thing. You're simply putting off some of the payment, and that can cost a whole bit. Let me offer a couple of simple examples I use in my classroom with the use of credit cards. The minimum monthly payment on a credit card is usually 2 to 3%. In most cases, the less you pay per month, the more you pay overall. See what happens with varying minimum payments based upon a $5,000 balance and 17% interest rate. Note the super low monthly payment of Card A as compared to Card D. Very appealing, isn't it? But now look at how much interest you pay and how long you are stuck with that debt. You might not even live that long. In my classes, I teach that transferring credit balance to the wrong lower interest loan is tantamount to accepting a life preserver from a shark. Similarly, choosing the wrong consolidation loan savagely threatens the point of consolidating it all. The fact that a payment may be lower does not mean that you're saving money. Let's say you own Card D, and you have the opportunity to transfer to Card A, nearly cutting payment in half. What a deal for the creditor. Check it yourself. You'll pay 6 times more interest. Why? Look at the years to pay it off and the interest you will pay in the interim. Now look at the interest you will pay if you stayed with Card D and the amount of time to pay it off. Which is a better deal? Debt consolidation is exactly the same. Similarly, transferring high-interest credit card to one of lower interest doesn't save you money either. Take a look at an example which uses a $5,000 balance. Pretend you own card C at 19.8% interest. If you transferred your balance to either of the cards, A or B, the creditors would love you, but you are digging yourself a deeper hole. Why? In the above example, the third column reflects a lower percent of required monthly payment. The lower the monthly payment percent, the lower the debt will last, the longer the debt will last, and the greater the interest to the creditor. In this case, lowering the interest by almost 6% nearly doubles the amount of interest you have to pay. Not a smart move. It follows then that if you have multiple loans that you are considering for consolidation, you have to be careful of the sales ploy. One lower monthly payment or less interest than you are currently paying, it simply doesn't matter. What matters is what is the total interest in dollars you currently will pay versus what is the total interest with a consolidation loan. Refinancing a mortgage at a lower interest so that you can have a lower payment can be the same thing. You must calculate the total cost in interest to know if you will save anything. Remember, your friendly lender is anxious for you to lower your payment. Why? A longer loan earns more interest, and now you have monthly money to borrow still more money. Here's the final point on this issue. It's never a good idea to pay off credit card debt by refinancing your home or any other secured loan. By so doing, you are converting the unsecured debt to a secured debt. Never a wise financial move. There is only one way to save money and only one way a consolidation loan can help rather than hinder. Pay off the debt as rapidly as possible so that you pay less interest. Additionally, small amounts can do wonders because you have compound interest working for you instead of against you. To make my point, here's a comparison table of a $100,000 30-year mortgage at 8%. How much could you save with a monthly prepayment of a very small amount? If you add the following small additions to your monthly payments, see what the reduction of your total monthly payoff is by the end of your financial contract. Some final thoughts. Slashing your debt so that you can create a new debt is a waste of your effort. You'll be far better off just keeping the current debt. However, if you slash your debt without creating new debt, you can operate on cash as if you had a 40% increase in spending money. You can find a course on this exact point at the following site. If you elect consolidation and your overall monthly payment ends up less, do yourself a favor. Determine in your budget exactly how much you need to breathe. Place all extra money left over after the consolidation and apply it to paying off the debt as soon as possible. As a footnote, in a rare instance, if a consolidation company talks to you about debt settlement or debt negotiation, be aware that if you settle a debt at an amount lower than you owe, there are consequences. For example, the creditor reports any forgiven amount more than $600 to the IRS and sends you a Form 1099 because the amount forgiven is viewed as income. It is also considered by the potential new creditor as a credit stain and will survive at least 7 years. If any of this makes good sense, tell your friends and family about it. You could be helping someone out and you'll keep feeling good about helping others. Also, if you know of social, business, or church group members in need of financial education, do them and yourself a favor by telling them about Debt Buster Motivation. But at a minimum, subscribe to my channel